Okay, this video I'm going to cover arrays, and arrays are like a variable. It's a variable type, so you set your variable to an array, and inside the, so this is what it looks like, making an array. So it's these two square brackets, and basically inside you could put more than one value. So you would use an array for something where you had to store more than one value. So imagine you had like friends or something. So you could say friend1 is equal to whatever, and you could say friend2 is equal to someone else, then friend3, and you would just have to keep adding numbers to the end of your friend variable. You'd say friend1 is this, friend2 is this, friend3 is whoever else. And this is like, this isn't manageable really, because how are you gonna use these when you refer to them, when you want to use all of them at the same time? Let's say you want to send a message to all your friends, you're gonna have to like run the same code, but like manually type in, do this for friend 1, then do this for friend 2, do this for friend 3. It's too much. It's hard to maintain. So what you could do instead, you could put your friends in here. You just do that, and then to put another one, you separate it with a comma. You do another value, and then you could say Maggie. And they don't even all have to be strings. They could be any value in your array. And let's click run. Nothing's gonna happen, but we still got all these values stored in one thing. So this is called a playlist, so I want to put like songs in here. And that's it. Okay, now let's click run. Make sure there's no errors. Nothing like that. Okay, let's just do this. Return the playlist. So it just shows us our array. So what if we wanted to do something with the first value of that array? We could say playlist, and then you'd put the two brackets at the end of your variable name, and then inside you pick the value that you want. So the first value actually isn't 1, like this first value, pumped up kicks. This isn't 1, it's actually 0. That's just how arrays work. Arrays are 0 based. Okay, and you could also say playlist dot length, and it will give you the total amount of values inside your array, 3. And if you just wanted to get your last one, if you want to playlist, let's just say you want to access a value from your playlist and you want it to be whatever was the last thing in your playlist, you could say playlist dot length minus 1. And that just gets your last value no matter what. If you do this, it'll still be this the same one, because that's what's last. Okay, now some array functions. There's the pop function list, and to call these functions, they're like sort of attached to your variable. So you would say playlist dot pop. In the last video we saw functions, so this sort of syntax should look familiar, where you have these parentheses. So we want to do something to the playlist. We're going to call pop on it, and pop returns the last element of the array and also removes it from the array. So let's do console.log playlist, and yeah, let's just do that. So see, playlist.pop took off the last element in the array. And if we get rid of this, we'll see that it actually returns it as well. It returns it. Just in case you wanted to store it in a value or something. Usually you won't, depending on what you're doing, you might not actually care that it returns it. Sometimes you just want to get rid of the last element. And that's basically what this does. And if we do it again, then we only got one, then do it one more time, then our array is going to be empty. Okay, what if you wanted to remove the first element? Well, there's a function for that too. It's called shift. Works similar. Let's see. So it returns pumped up kicks, but it also takes it out of the array. So if we see here, there's no more pumped up kicks. Okay, so that's basic enough. Let's try to add elements to the array. So we could do the push method, and push adds an element to the end of the array. And I don't know why I got rid of the console log. So we're going to see that it just adds an element to the end. And you can call this as much as you want, add 20 elements if you want. Okay, and what about adding at the beginning? We could say playlist dot, it's actually called unshift, which is sort of like shift, which removes the first element. Unshift just adds something to the beginning. So let's see this. So here's our playlist. And that's actually going to wrap it up on arrays. They're pretty basic. All you got to know is that inside the array values could be anything. They could also be in another array. So you could say in here, the last element of the array could just be an array of numbers. And this is valid. If you access the value at index 2, which is this, it's actually an array. And then you can make this. This can be a bit of a mind blow here. But then you could say, so playlist 2, which is playlist, let me do this. Playlist, the second thing in playlist is this, yes, and this gets returned, and then on top of that you could access its third value, which is also at index 2, which is, let's see, okay, I added one too many, that's why I was a bit confused a second ago. Okay, and then that's an array, and then inside there you could call 2 again. This time you can call 1 if you want, which will just return this number. Oh yeah, they're 0 based, so 0 is actually 1. I don't know how I forgot that. So there it is. So this is kind of confusing, but I just wanted to show you that you could do this. The values inside an array could be any value whatsoever. If it's a valid variable value, then it's a valid array value. Okay, so that's going to be it for this one.